Narcissistic Mothers, Emotional and Narcissistic Abuse Recovery, Healing Guide on how to handle a manipulative mother and break free from toxic relationships. Recover from narcissistic abuse. Written by Ellen Clark. Narrated by Olivia Harvey.
Introduction. I understand what it is like to crave love from your mother and know that you're not going to receive it. I understand how this makes you struggle in life as you feel worthless. You feel that no one else can love you. I remember often asking myself, how can anyone else love me if my mother, a person that I am part of, can't? The love from a mother is something no one else can give. I learned this early in my life, I would say around 6 years old. I was in kindergarten and surrounded by mothers who came to spend the morning with their children. We had created artwork for our mothers and were presenting them with muffins. Everyone's mother was there, except mine. I had asked my mother if she was going to come to school that morning. She told me she was too busy. She had more important things to do. There was a sale going on at her favorite store. She wanted to go shopping instead of coming to see my artwork and share a muffin. At the age of 15, I was learning how to drive. I couldn't wait to get my license. In my young adolescent mind, this meant freedom. I no longer had to ask someone to drive me somewhere. I would be able to drive myself. I had gotten a job so I could start to save up for my vehicle. I didn't need anything special. I just wanted something to get myself around. I needed my mother's signature to open a savings account. This meant that she would be able to take money out of my account. I told myself that my mother would never spend my money. I was wrong. After a few months of saving, I went to the bank to put my check into my savings account and saw there was $10 left, the minimum amount I needed to keep the savings account open. My mother had taken over $2,000 out of my account. To this day, I don't know what she spent it on. Because of my narcissistic mother, I had a lot of long-term effects. I had a negative mindset. As my book will tell you, your mindset is the foundation for your thoughts and actions. If you have a positive mindset, you are more likely to think positive thoughts and have high self-esteem. However, if a narcissistic mother raised you, you will have a negative mindset, which means you will think negatively about nearly every situation, struggle with anxiety, and have low self-esteem. Other effects of a narcissistic mother are you will blame yourself. You will feel like you are the reason your mother acts the way she does. Part of this is because she will blame you for her mistakes and blame you for what happens. You will have poor self-discipline because your mother never taught you how to manage your time wisely and how to handle your responsibilities. You will also have a lot of anger. Part of this is because you fear what will happen if you take out your anger toward your mother. The other part of this is because of your mother's narcissism. You feel you can't express your emotions. She never allowed you to learn how to accept, handle, and express any of your emotions. Therefore, you tend to just bottle them up inside. You also struggle with trusting people and are counter-dependent. This means that you don't want to ask for help. You want to do everything yourself because you don't know how to ask for help. You could never ask your mother for help because it was often a waste of her time. You are also afraid to ask for help because asking for help wasn't something you wanted to do while growing up. Above all, growing up with a narcissistic mother made my life a roller coaster. I never really knew how she was going to react to a situation. I never knew what manipulative tactics she was going to use to get her way. Because I kept my emotions bottled up, they would often spike, which meant that I was moody and unable to handle the stress of my emotions. I felt lost, and I felt that people didn't care. I felt that if I asked for help, I was a burden. I know there are many children who grew up with a narcissistic mother who felt the same way. Once I knew that I wasn't alone, I started to focus on changing my life around. Once I took the first step of accepting that my mother was different from most mothers, I started to understand that this wasn't completely her fault. She had a psychological disorder known as narcissistic personality.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?